I know with support services, we can offer, like case management, keep them in contact, let them know what services in the community, connect them to longer term supports, because we are supposed to be a shorter term service. Um, I think it's staying connected as long as they need us, making them aware of what's in the community, doing a lot of safety planning with them, checking in with them if the safety plan changes, if stuff happens. I think it's just making them totally aware of everybody and all the different services, what we can do to help them, and all the other services, what they offer as well. So, as long as we go down the road, then maybe it's the Burnett McCann House takes over and does the long-term outreach worker, so they're still staying connected with somebody with domestic violence, right? So it's, just making sure that they are aware of what's out there, and we connect them or we stay with them as long as we need to.
I think too, to build on that, one of the really important things is that as an agency, we use a trauma-informed, victim-centered approach. So we have, because we have worked with other people who've experienced intimate partner violence, a vast array of knowledge on some things that might have worked for somebody. So we can share, ideas around, for example, safety planning, for that individual. If they're driving to work, here's some things to think about. But ultimately, that approach respects that individual as the expert of their experience, right? So that approach is critical, I think, in the work that we do. But I think it's also critical as a community when we're trying to provide that support. We have to understand that they know their abuser best. They know the comings and goings. They know the patterns that lead up to that abuse, right? So it's really being able to be, as a community member, as well as an agency, but as a community member, being able to see them, right? And I think one of the challenges that somebody who's been abused, they're afraid to speak out because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to, hear the, well, why don't you just leave if it's that bad? Those kinds of ill-informed questions. So it's really important that we understand the root causes of domestic violence or intimate partner violence, that we understand, to the best of our ability, what it is that they're going through, because we actually listen to them. We hear what it is that they're saying to them. We see them. We believe them. We are there for them unconditionally, because I think a lot of times, people are so afraid that their loved one is in a situation like that, that they reach the point where they'll say, well, you're not listening to me, so I can't be with you anymore. And that's understandable, because it's really hard to have a loved one go through that. However, as a community member, I think it's really important that we let that person know unconditionally that we are there for them. We see them, we believe them, they are not alone. They can call at any time. And as a community, individual, and as a community agencies, we're going to be there for them no matter what, to the best of our ability. And as an agency, if it's not something victim services can do, we're going to get a hold of an agency with their permission who can help them with that as well. I think it's also really important as community members that we actually know the signs of domestic violence or intimate partner violence, so that we can safely, approach somebody when we see some of those flags, happening around us. And as community as well, it's important that, as community members, we also know what are the support agencies, because maybe, they don't want a particular agency for whatever reason, but they want another agency. So if we have an arrangement of services and we can tell them basically what those services do and give them those numbers, we're also able to say there is a whole community, look at all of these services, and they do different things that can actually help you. So that self-education piece as community members is critical. And I think, really knowing that information, seeing them, believing them is huge.